Hey everyone, just wanted to make this YouTube video. It's been a while since I made a video, but I've been having a lot of dreams lately, and I really felt guided to make this video. I was just sitting here and I was watching some Rapture dreams out of nowhere. It just kind of popped up on my feed randomly, and I started watching it, and I had these Rapture dreams the last couple days, and I've been really wanting to share them, but I just kind of didn't feel it was time, and now I feel like I felt this really strong feeling, honestly, really powerful feeling to really share it. So in the last month and a half, I'd say I basically had one Rapture dream where, I was just sitting there, and then in the dream I was suddenly in this beautiful white space, and I could feel the purity all around me, and I knew, and I felt it, and I just said like something in the dream of I knew I was raptured. Not very descriptive. I kind of just set it aside, and I was like, wow, that was amazing feelings. I woke up feeling God, and of course, I lived my life as best I can by God, with God. And so then I, didn't think much of it. And then about maybe a couple days ago now, I had another dream, and it was really profound, and so did my wife, actually. So at the same time, almost, the next couple days she did after me. In my dream, I was in a neighborhood. It was kind of just a stereotypical, like two-story houses, nice kind of cul-de-sac neighborhood. It was kind of in the middle of kind of like a newer neighborhood, and like how they make them, and then there's kind of like a field off in the distance kind of thing. And I was just walking around, and I noticed in the sky there's a bunch of people too. And I noticed in the sky that it was just kind of, cloudy, darker, like it was gonna storm kind of a day. And basically, in a nutshell, I was just sitting there, and suddenly I noticed there's these three lines suddenly that shot down, like I don't know if you've seen a lot of movies. They have those people like military ropes or whatever. They rappel down, I guess is the word. They rappel down it, and they so anyway, sorry. In a nutshell, they rappelled down. Basically, in a nutshell, there's these lines that suddenly, like spears, just shot into the earth from these clouds, and everyone stopped in this little subdivision, I guess, and just started watching. And I remember the energy, the feeling in my heart at the time. It was a very vivid dream. Was just very calm, and just observe it and watch. And I was watching with just like unsurety, but also this feeling of calmness in me. And suddenly, I saw these military men just sliding down these diagonal lines. They were at a certain angle. I don't know, they're at like maybe like this much of an angle. I don't know, it's hard to describe, but they came down at that much of an angle, and they were just sliding down it. And I remember in the dream, I didn't feel this feeling of fear, but it was this feeling of, oh no, I'm going to die. Like, there's no way I could escape this. There was like a field around this subdivision kind of thing, and I just knew it. I knew I was gonna die or something. But suddenly, as they were getting closer to the ground, I started lifting off the ground, and I started lifting higher and higher and higher, and I kept lifting, and my arms were outstretched, and I was wearing pure white suddenly, and I just kept lifting up, and I was watching as it was happening. I saw the military guys get down, and I saw them going across the field into the neighborhood, and I saw just one person on the ground, and it was kind of hard to make out. I could just see the top of their head, and they had dark hair. That's all, they were wearing a pink shirt or something. I don't know, it was something like that. I don't want to overcreate it, but it just happened like that. And so as I kept rising up into the sky, I knew what was happening. I said, I knew it. I didn't even have to say it. I just understood. And as it was happening, I just kept rising, and I just kept singing and praising the names of God. I realized, and this peace came over me. I said, I'm with God. I love you, God. Praise you, God. I love you, God. And just kept saying how much I love God. And I kept raising up and raising up and raising up into the sky, and until I was, hundreds and hundreds of feet above the ground. And I don't remember what else really happened after that, other than this, is that I kept raising up, and I remember this, is that we looked around, when I looked around, I thought, oh my gosh, where are my loved ones? But for some reason, I was like, no, I can't focus on that. I have to focus on just singing for God and praising God. And I noticed there was a bunch of other people around me that had white robes on as well. And they were also just like our arms outstretched, just singing for God. And yeah, so I mean, that's basically that. And then I remembered there was just nothing else to it. And then I remember we rose up to a certain point and we're hovering around with each other. We just were hovering there. Like we rose up maybe like 400, 500 feet up and started doing that. And that was pretty much the dream. And I was basically guided, just don't look at your loved ones. And the reason I decided to share, or not look at them, but don't worry about them. Like, just focus on what I have planned for you and everything will be okay. And I remember the theme being, as they got closer to the ground, we would raise up, because it's the people that are with God who are choosing the righteousness, the values and virtues of what Christ said to follow, that are the ones holding the space right now for all of this craziness going on. And then, yeah, so the next couple of days passed, and I told my wife about it, and she had a dream as well. And she suddenly goes, hey, I had this dream too last night. And she had this dream that she was also in kind of like that neighborhood scenario thing. Same thing of what I said, but the difference is that she suddenly saw all these spears coming down from the heavens, and they were shaped like whale bones. And she said they reminded her of like feathery quills or something, and they kept shooting down, and all these people were running and scared in fear, but somehow, like, she knew she was meant to just watch, and she was watching from the eyes, I guess, and she was able to somehow direct the spears so they evaded her and didn't stab, but they were stabbing everyone else as they came down from the sky. And then here's where it gets interesting, where I really noticed it, is she said that as this was happening, she got into a car with a bunch of people who were driving, and she noticed that there's a bunch of people floating in the sky wearing white, and they were just not rising, but just floating there with their arms outstretched, and they're way up in the sky. And that's pretty much where the dream ended. So I just felt guided to share this in my heart, and just wanted to let everyone know about it. It's been a long time since I made a video. Sorry if it was too long. Tried to make it quick and sweet as best as possible. I will say that obviously we're in some very interesting times, if you want to call it that, and just really listen, So that's all I have to say. No one knows really what's gonna happen, I guess, but to deny these dreams, man, like they're so real. I woke up and I was in bed. I thought it was done. Nope. All right, well, you all have a beautiful night and morning, day, wherever you are in the world when you watch this, and just God bless you all, and just hold Christ in your heart and just live those virtues, man. Live it. Don't let it sway you. Don't let the system, don't let the evil, don't let the devil, whatever you want to call it, don't let it sway your heart into thinking that you're wrong when you know in your heart you're right, when you know, I guess. I don't know. It's hard to really say. But all right, everyone have a good night.